Many of you have actually seen my liquid soap videos in which I tried to create a shampoo using liquid homemade soap, using potassium hydroxide and oils, the same way you would use sodium hydroxide and oils to make solid soap. But I had difficulties bringing the pH down. It's actually not possible to bring the pH down in a liquid soap far enough for you actually to be able to completely rinse the product out of your hair. Now, if you can use a vinegar rinse after you shampoo your hair with a liquid soap, that makes it a little bit better, able to rinse out a little bit more because it brings the pH, neutralizes the pH in your hair after you've done shampooing it. But I can't do that because with eczema, the vinegar or lemon juice, anything like that, would irritate my scalp. So I was forced to look at different things, and what I ended up doing was trying to find surfactants that were gentle and mild enough so that it wouldn't irritate my scalp and make me break out. So I decided on, this is a BSB surfactant. I'm sorry it's so dark in here. Just a second. That's a little bit better. Sorry, this is a BSB surfactant. It's a general surfactant used in a lot of baby products, like baby shampoo and baby body washes and stuff like that, in a very small percentage. The point is that this surfactant doesn't have any SLS in it, sodium lauryl sulfate, and it doesn't have any sodium laureth sulfate in it. Or, even worse than those are the ammonium laureth sulfate and the ammonium lauryl sulfate. Those ones are actually even worse for irritants. And then I add this, which is, the brand name is Amphasol CG surfactant, and it is just the cocomide betaine, and this makes this surfactant here even milder. So there's some of this already in here, and I just add a whole lot more to it. And this also makes a lot of foam and bubbles. You know, if you're going to make a bubble bath, it really works. But it also makes the shampoo a lot milder than having none of it. So those are my soapies. And to this I add vegetable glycerin. It's a humectant, of course, and I put aloe vera extract, but I use the liquid variety in the shampoo because it's easier to dissolve it into it. And as well as those things, I of course use a preservative, but you don't have to use a preservative when you're making a shampoo. There are preservatives already in this particular surfactant. I add more because sometimes when I get to the end of the bottle, I add water into the bottle, like from the tap, so that I can get every last bit of shampoo out of the bottle, and just so that that doesn't create any problems for me down the road, I add extra preservative. And of course, along with my conditioner, I'm going to add silk amino acids, rosemary extract, and panthenol, provitamin B5. So I add those three things. And then, okay, liquid Crothex is the thickener. You need this to thicken up your final product, I should say. And you can use this up to 5%. Susan Barkley off the Swiftcraft Monkey blog recommends not using more than 2%. And she also says before you even add this, you should let your shampoo sit overnight with the cover off and see how thick it gets on its own before even adding this, and then add it like 1% at a time until you get to the thickness that you want. And making a shampoo is actually pretty darn easy this way. I'm using an herbal infused shampoo, so what I did here was I boiled my distilled water, and then I steeped my calendula and chamomile, that's what's in the tea ball. I steeped that for a while until the water turned yellow, and now I'm going to heat it up to boiling again, because you want your water to be really, really hot when you add it to your surfactants. You don't have to, but it makes it a whole lot easier to mix them together, especially because you have to do it so slowly. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to measure out my two surfactants. I'm using them both at 20%. So both the BSB and the Amphasol are both going to be 20% of my entire recipe. And I'm going to let that heat up to boiling while I measure everything out. Okay, I'm currently measuring out the BSB surfactant. I want you to see that this is very, very thick stuff, this particular surfactant. Okay, 80, but this one, the Amphasol, is not. That's just a little I had left over. Okay. This is very, very runny. See? And you have to be careful that you don't get too many bubbles. There we go. I'm just going to use a knife. You could use... I normally use some of those like popsicle sticks that you get at Michael's, and you just have to like slowly mix the two surfactants together before you add your water. Hi. And the reason you're doing it slowly is because you don't want to have too many bubbles. The least amount of bubbles possible. I'm heating up my water again, and then I'm going to measure that in a separate container and then add it slowly to this. Wait for the background. Okay, I'm just gonna I measured out my vegetable glycerin into my surfactants because it's nice and thick and viscous. Anyway, it mixes in there really easily, very slowly. And because some of the products are okay in heat, this is my infused water. I also added my liquid aloe vera extract, my silk amino acids, and my provitamin B5. I measured that out into here. Yes, into here as well, because they mix really easily in water. And then this is for afterwards. It is my rosemary extract and my preservative. Okay, so I'll measure out my Crofix. So 8 grams. And actually I'm going to measure at 1%, which is 4 grams, and then if I need the other percent, I'll add it later. Okay, so yeah, so that's added after it cools down. So now I have to add my water. So I'm going to very slowly add my water into this mixture, and I'm kind of tilting both of the containers so that I don't get any bubbles. If you can see that here, I'll go like this. I hope you can see that. It's just like a bartender, you know, pouring beer. You have to do it at a tilt so that you don't get any head. You have to kind of do this at a tilt so you don't get any bubbles. I tell you, this is way easier than making liquid soap. I still like making liquid soap. Okay, so now you can see they're not really mixed together, and you have to very, very, very slowly mix them like this. There. So, I don't know if you can see this. See, they're still not mixed together. The surfactants are still just right on the bottom. And they will very slowly mix in. Okay, so you can pretty much tell now that it's all mixed together because look how clear it is. It's funny, the two surfactants are actually quite clear. The BSB has a little bit of a yellowish tinge. When you mix them together, they go cloudy. And when you mix the water and all those ingredients in, it goes back to clear again. So that's how you can tell that you're all mixed together, is when it's gone nice and clear. And I didn't get too many bubbles. I got a few. I get impatient. So I didn't get too many. And I think that it's almost time that I can add the other ingredients as well. I'll give the thermometer a few minutes to see what the actual temperature is. And it's just kind of like a thick water now. It'll get thicker when the Crofax goes in. It's showing about 105 to 110 degrees, so I'm pretty sure I could probably add my stuff there now. That's another thing you gotta watch out too with your preservatives, like this preservative, sorry, that's the old bottle. This preservative, the Optimum Plus, you have to have a pH of less than 7, or else it kills whatever is in your preservative. So, preservative, rosemary extract, and half of my, like 1% of the liquid Crofax, so that's half of the amount that I would normally add. And then I'll add another 4 grams if I need it. Tomorrow, after it's cooled down. And I can just add that right to the bottle. So I'm going to mix this in and I'm going to put it in my plastic bottle. Same with my lotion, I'm going to put that in the plastic bottle now too. There we go. And they pretty much mix in very easily. And those ingredients make it cloudy again, which is another good reason to add them afterwards. That's the rosemary extract that makes it like that. It's a pretty color though. Don't know if you can tell, but it's a nice, like, sunny yellow color, which for summer is very fitting, I think. And it's going to make me feel happy. Happy when I go to wash my hair. Yay! Happy shampoo. That's what I should call it. My happy shampoo. I could add some lemon oil to this, or some any kind of citrus essential oil would be good too. This is why I do it in my Pyrex measuring cup, because if I usually make this at the same time as I'm making my conditioner, not usually my lotion, usually my conditioner, so I use the funnel for the conditioner usually, so I end up having to use this Pyrex measuring cup for the shampoo to make it easier to pour. And so you don't want to pour it too fast either, because bubbles. So just nice and slow. Don't want to waste any of it. This would probably make a very good bubble bath as well. I make a Calendula bubble bath for my daughters, which is similar to this. A put more of the cocomide betaine in there though. Anyway, so there it is. And I probably could have made, that was a 400 gram recipe. I probably could have made 500 grams and still fit it in this bottle. I bet I could have. I'm going to do that next time, make 500 grams. I'll do that with the conditioner too and see what happens. Go crazy. Sorry. This bottle is a 500 ml bottle. And there it is. So I'm just going to write on it after it cools down. I'll see how thick it is, see if I need to add more Crothex, and then I'll add the cover on it and write on it the date and everything that I made it. Now, I guess I'll show you that too, but it'll have to wait until tomorrow. Hello everyone. I just remembered I was going to show you this the next day, and it's the next day. I've already used it. This is the Chamomile and Calendula Shampoo. I wrote down on it, and I just wanted to show you how thick it was. If you can tell. Whoops. Let's see. I decided not to put any more liquid Crothex in there because I like the thickness of it already. So, you can see that. It bubbles really well too. I think I should show you. Here. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. We had a lot of lather to the new shampoo in, so that's good. I just painted my bathroom, so it's pretty empty right now. But I also wanted to show you my hair. This is what my hair looks like. It's nice and soft, and I have really fine hair, but it didn't really weigh it down at all, which I really like. And it's all like pretty much tangle free, but my hair tangles pretty easily, so I like it. It's good, and you can already start to see the highlights starting to come out in my hair. My hair was getting really dark there using the hibiscus and the green tea shampoo. So I like that it's going to start to lighten up now, I think. I hope you can see this. Anyway, there we go. It works really well, and I love it, and I think that you probably will love it too. I mean, if you try it out, if you want to. It's a whole lot easier to make than soap. The only part with doing this is you have to learn about surfactants and which ones are more harmful than others, and which ones are the most mild, and how to make your surfactants milder and stuff like that. So that's the difficult part. But it was kind of fun making it. Alright, bye.